Okay, let's try this again. It's been a while since I've done anything like this. The last video I uploaded was well over a year ago. Um, let's see if I can see when exactly, or how long ago exactly it was. But anyway, while I wait for that stuff to load, hey everybody, how is it going? It's the Crystal Flaffy here, and I have a new video up for you guys today. It's been 1 year and 281 days since I last uploaded. I don't know why YouTube doesn't abbreviate it into months. They just say 281 days. That's kind of weird. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, as you guys can see on the screen, there's a game here a bit different from anything else that I've put on the channel. I did put one other video about this game before, but that was just a clan creation and recruitment thing that I did a while ago that the clan is no longer active, hasn't been for a long time. Oh well, I'm in a new clan, we'll get to clans at some other time. But today, as you can see from the title of the video, I want to start up I am starting up a series called Is This Astromon Good? Because you see a lot of times where there's new players that don't know about how good a certain unit would be. And like on Reddit and in the in-game chat and clan chat for Discord, there's always people asking about, is blank mon good? So I'm going to go through the Astromons and say whether or not I won't say like, oh, this mon is just bad, you know? Because I feel like every mon has its uses somewhere. There may be better options, of course, but they still have their uses. So I won't really say anything is straight up bad unless it's really, really bad and has no use anywhere. But anyway, for today, we are going to go and talk about the mascot of the game, which I don't think I said it yet, but it's Monster Super League, as you can see from the thumbnail and the title and whatnot. But it's going to be the mascot of the game called Miho, which most people just say the first evolution level of the Astromon's name for when speaking about them. Like, they don't say Ron or Ran, whatever, when speaking about Evo 2 Miho. They just say Evo 2 Miho. I don't know why. Coming from Pokemon, it was weird at first, but you get used to it. You definitely get used to it. So we're going to be talking about Miho today, and we're going to go through all the elements, and Miho is going to be this may be a bit longer than the rest of the videos will be, just because I had to do the introductory thing, and then also Miho has super evolution as well, so we're going to, after looking at all the elements in the Astro Guide, we'll go look at their stats in the Super Laboratory, I think that's what it's called, and then we'll also go look at some of their skill book upgrades. I do have all 5 elements for Miho, so that'll be all cool, all fine and dandy, you know? Okay, so first we have Fire Miho. Fire Miho's pretty good, especially for, well, early game she's great. I think she's the first Astromon you get, so hang on to her. Definitely hang on to her, at least for a little while. You can see at the top here, she's a tank. She's a natural 3-star. On the top, you see that on the top left. And then also over here, where you see things moving with the stars, you can ascend the Astromons to get them up to 6-star, get them to level 60 for the max level. And you can see Miho's stats down there. Hopefully, I remember to edit the video, and then I'll like zoom in over there, maybe do something cool, you know. Show off a little bit. But as you can see, she has 37,000 HP, which is pretty good for a tank. Really good for a Nat 3 tank, for sure. Her attack is a bit higher than most tanks would be. Normally their defense is the second highest stat. But for Fire Miho, it's HP, attack, then defense, which is okay for her, because when you look at her skills, which we'll pull up here, so on her 3-star skill, she has attack down, 60% 2-turn, which is okay at first. But she does get books, so we'll go into the percentages later. But on the second skill, her 5-star, you see she has HP Siphon. Now, this is kind of what makes Fire Miho a bit of a weird Astromon. So, she is a tank, but HP Siphon is usually a skill you see with attackers. So like Fire Succubus or Wood Sun Wukong. Mons like that. Which it is a really good skill, but it requires your unit to be able to do a lot of damage. Which, as you can see, she doesn't have that high attack. So with gemming her is going to be a bit weird compared to other tanks. But we'll get to gems as well when I go show skill books, because I do have Fire Miho and I do use her, so we can get to that later. And then for the leader skill, which is the same across all element Miho, is Firm Resolve, so increases allies' resistance 15 to 20%, which is a really good thing. It's good for League, Astro League, good for CVC, but it's usually something you would prefer to see on defense. Not so much. You don't usually use resist leads for offense, but I guess higher level, higher tiers in PvP you might, depending on what sort of team you use and what sort of team your opponent uses. But PvP is a topic for another day. Well, like the structure of PvP. And that's it for Fire Miho. As you can see, there is a super skill, but that comes with super evolution. It's just the 5-star skill, but it gets a damage boost, and it'll have a different animation, might have a different number of hits, and things like that. Oops. Ignore my like gold and gems and stuff. I am terrible with stockpiling resources. I spend them immediately. But we'll go look at Fire Miho. This is the gem setup I have here. You can also see other, like all my variant 6-star Firemons here. But anyway, for Miho, let's do the other thing. Yeah, there we go. I do have one of the costumes on her, just because, it gives a little bit of a damage boost, a little bit of a stat boost, but it's like negligible. It's like 75 attack, 75 defense, and like maybe 150 HP or something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but anyway, I actually didn't gem her the way I wanted to. Life set wasn't very necessary for her, as she doesn't really need HP, because you can see when you super evolve her, she has a natural 41,000 HP. So you don't really need a builder for HP, because she's going to be tanking hits anyway. And what you really want her to do is get some damage with that 5-star skill. But then also you want her to get that attack down with her 3-star. Honestly, I think the best place for her to be used is for Titans, for like early to mid game. I still use her for my fire team, but just because my fire team is my worst team, so, and I severely lack attack down there. But I will bring her up here. You can see what her full stats are after these gems. 61k HP, 58 attack, 33 defense. Well, 5,800? Yeah, 5,800 attack and 3,300 defense and 1,800 recovery, but recovery is not super important for her. It's really only useful for healers. It is good for her as well, because her 5-star does get affected by it. But the amount of healing you get from her 5-star anyway doesn't really matter what her recovery stat is. So going into it, what I wanted to do with her is I wanted to gem her more offensively, so I went attack, attack, defense. I didn't go attack, attack, HP because she has good HP already, so anyway, yeah. that's her. I did want to gem her for crit rate, not resist, but didn't end up going down that way. Oh, I didn't even look at her books. 1 second. Alright, where is she? There we go. So her skill book upgrades, I'll look at it here. As you can see, it gives 20% damage boost on her 3-star, and on her 5-star as well, and then it gives a 20% activation rate for her 3-star, so it brings it up to 80% 2 turns, and then gives a passive skill plus 10% effectiveness, so her heal gets increased by 10% on her 5-star, which is good because she'll be, for Titans at least, she'll be landing attack down more often, and she'll also act as a backup healer in case you don't have a lot of healers yet. But of course, like later on, like as you get to like the further end of mid-game and also late game and end game stuff, you know, she's not going to be, there's definitely better options, but she is very good when you're starting out. And for PvP as well, and for farming golems, for B9, she's really good there, or GB9 for golems. She's not very good for dragons or Colossus. She doesn't really have uses there, but she could definitely do golems and PvP as well as Titans. You will replace her eventually, but she's good starting out. And then next we will go to Water Miho. So let's find her. I passed her. There we go. So she's a balanced type. Her HP is a bit higher than I've noticed most other balance types to be, but that's fine. You can never have too much of a stat, unless it's recovery. Then you can have too much, where, like for a mon like Water Miho, recovery is useless. You can also see her variant too. I didn't show off Fire variant, but I showed off Super Fire variant because that's the one that I have, so you gotta see it there. Now, Water Miho is a pure sapper, as you can see. Sap deals 5% damage to your opponent every turn that it's activated, except for against Titans and I believe Colossus as well. No, I don't know about Colossus. I don't remember, but against Titan at least, it instead of dealing 5%, it deals a flat 5,000. But you wouldn't really want to use Sap against Titans anyway, because that amount of damage is very small. But then let's go over to here so we can look at her super and her skill books. We'll go through this one a lot faster. I did not gem my Water Miho, as I didn't really have a reason to, because I have better sappers, and Sap is very, what's the word? It's very specific. It's a very specific skill. You don't need it for many places. The best place to use Sap is for golems for GB10 and water colossus. Other places, it's not very useful. It is a bit more useful in PvP now. There was a recent update that made Sap lower the enemy's resistance. I don't remember if they say by how much exactly, but either way, to land the Sap would require you to get through the enemy's resistance in the first place, so it's kinda counterintuitive, I guess. But let's look at her books, and we'll look at her skill percent rates as well. So she just gets a damage boost for her 3-star, 30%, that's pretty good, and then 15% on her 5-star, but she gets a 20% activation rate for her Sap. So the thing about Water Miho, though, that I dislike compared to other sappers is that for both her 3-star and 5-star, she only lands 1 Sap. So Sap, we see for other sappers, you can have 1 to 3 Saps that they do. Water Miho is 1 Sap, 3-star, 5-star. Her rates are good though, very good. 3-star is 100% 2 turns, that's really good. It just sucks that it's only 1. Same for 5-star, where it's 80% for 2 turns. So it's not, her rates are great, it's just, it doesn't do enough Sap to where it would make a difference, so you're better off using something like Water Yuki would be way better. Light Radis. I know Light Radis's rates are lower, but it does 2 per turn, so it ends up being better overall. And then, of course, the Resist lead. And as for gems, what would I do? Well, the only place that I would use her is Water Colossus and Golem's floor 10, which in both of those places, well, for Golem's floor 10, she won't be targeted because the enemy won't have elemental advantage against her. And for Water Colossus, they hit everybody anyway. So, like, the Colossus hits your whole team. So she will be targeted there, but she won't be taking double damage or whatever. I don't remember. The Water Colossus won't have elemental advantage. There we go. So you would want to build her more offensive. You don't really need to worry about her defenses too much. So I'd probably go like attack, crit rate, or something like that, maybe. And then I would, if using her for Golem's floor 10, you can focus on building her crit rate up. But if you use her for Water Colossus, you want to get that resist as high as possible because the Golem and the minion on his right will do AoE saps, which can just like tear you down if you're not prepared for it. So that's Water Miho, and let's go on to Wood. Now Wood is the first one that I built when using this account. I actually just got rid of my Fire Miho right away, which was, like, I didn't need it back then, but I ended up building one later because I did end up needing it for Titans because I didn't have good attack downs for that. And she's actually, Fire is actually the only one, well no, I used Light as well, but we'll get to Light. We'll get to Light later. But Wood was very good for me early game, definitely very good. She is a weaker Wood Siegfried. He has the same skills as her, just better and better stats. But she's still really good too, because let's face it, when you get Siegfried, you're not going to want to build Wood. You're going to want to build Water, Fire, or Light, or Dark, more than you would. But we'll get to Siegfried in a later video. As for Wood Miho, you can see she's an attacker. Her stats are okay for a 3-star. Her recovery is a bit higher, like maybe swap the defense and recovery around, that would have been better, but still pretty okay. And we'll see her variant. Mine is a variant as well. I think all my Mihos are a variant, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but we'll see the other ones later. We'll go look at Wood now. Oops, it's my prized succubus. Love her. Now, I did have both my Wood and Water Mihos in storage. I took them out just for this video. What's the show button do? I never... Oh shit, it takes off the costume. I didn't even know that. Okay, so you learn something new every day. But anyway, for Miho, for Wood Miho, I gemmed her because I wanted her to do a little damage, but also be able to take some hits as well. I did use her in Titans for a long time, actually, as my primary defense down for my first line. Ended up replacing her for sure. But she is really good for there in the early game. Very helpful. She has a 3-turn defense down, even before books, I believe. Yeah. Oh no, that's after books. But, so after books, as you can see, she gets a 3-turn defense down. It's only 60%, but it's still very useful when it lands because it stays there for a while. Her stun is useless for Titans. You only use her there for defense down. You can use it for PvP. For like early when you're facing against the low resist mons, you know, she's really good there. And she's an attacker, so she can do good damage as well. Mine is gemmed HP, attack, defense, I believe. You can see she has pretty good HP. I mean, pretty good attack. But also, yeah, her HP is pretty good as well. I looked at that after, though. And you want to build her with resist if you're using her for Titans, not crit rate, because the Water Titan's seal is a pain in the ass when it lands. so you want to try to make it so that he does not land it. For PvP, you can use her for offense and defense, but she would be better for offense, obviously, because she's an attacker. But if you use it for defense, go with the HP attack defense build. I think it's dubbed like the Bruiser build or something like that. But that's what I use for some of my attackers that I use for PvP. Only certain ones, like my Wood Odin and my Fire Indra, are gemmed as such. But we'll talk about them later. I know I've said that a lot, but oh well. You can also use her for golems, for GB7 for early game. She's pretty good there. The water golem on GB7 does have high defense. Water bosses, for most content in the game, have high defense. Water Colossus has insane defense, where even defense down doesn't matter. That's how high his defense is. I think Water Titan does have the highest defense out of the Titans. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he does. But defense down against the Water Golem is definitely very useful. She can be used in the Dragon Dungeon for the same thing, I think. I don't remember what floor the Water Dragon is, as I don't really attack that one. I don't know. It might be DB6 or 7. I don't remember. Either way, I don't attack it at all, so I don't use her for that. But she can probably be used there as well for the same reason you use her in Golems, just to defense down the dragon, or the boss. There will be better options for her, of course, most notably Wood Siegfried, but there are other options as well that would do better than her. For Titans, you got like Wood Leo would do much better. What was his name? Wood Murray. She's an exotic, so she's very rare, but she's very useful. But let's get to Light Miho now. As you can see, she's a Nat 4, as most 3-star Firewater Woodmons have a Light Dark counterpart that is a Nat 4. Miho is one example. There are many others, but there are also Nat 4s that are like Nat 4 across the board. Like Yuki. She's Nat 4, Firewater Wood, Light Dark. But Light Miho is actually a really good mon for PvP. She's amazing. Sorry if you guys heard that notification. That's my phone saying that my system is running out of space. So I will speed up. I will speed this up. I'll make sure to fix that for the next time I record something. But she did get an update recently. She was bad before. I don't remember what she had. I think she was like Taunt and Attack Down, but then they introduced Fearless Taunt and they gave that to her. This is her variant form. She's a defender. She has really good defense, good HP as well. And let's get to her over here. She is the only, besides Fire, she's the only other Miho that I actively use. Well, not actively, she's on PvP defense for me. And I actually built her a bit weird. Those trinkets are not leveled up and they're 3 stars. So, well, that one's a 5-star. Shit, I should take that and put it on something. I did press pause on the recording right there by accident. I don't know when I stopped, but anyway, I use her for PvP defense, but I do have her built a bit differently than you would build a normal defensive mon. I have her on HP, HP, HP. Wait, yeah. So that is how you would want to build her, actually. I don't know how her attack got so high. She probably has really good attack subs. Yeah, she has attack subs on all her gems. I didn't realize. But anyway, normally you would build a defense mon, HP, HP, defense, but because she has Fearless Taunt, which lowers the enemy's lowers her damage received by 50%. You don't really need to build her damage up that much. And also because I have her on healer set, you want her HP as high as possible. Then we go to her skill books. She has a 20% damage on both skills, which you don't really want her, or you don't really need her to do too much damage, so it's not really a focus of her. You want her to tank stuff. But then she gets a 20% boost on her Fearless Taunt for the activation rate and for her attack down as well. So she's going to sit there and just absorb hits. And on healer, she's broken. But as you can see, she has a 90% chance to taunt the enemy, and then she'll receive 50% less damage as well, so she'll just tank. And then on her 5-star, 80% chance to return attack down, so she halves their attack and pretty much doubles her defense. So she's receiving like no damage. And then her super as well has that increased damage with the same skills as her 5-star. You do want to build her with a lot of resist. Mine does not have that much resist. She's more of a sneaky build. She will hit harder than most light Miho are expected to. But let's go to the last Miho, the last element we have here. I am speaking a lot faster now, so my my throat is starting to feel it. And also it is like 3 a.m. it's 3:11 when I'm doing this, so I'm going to bed after this. Anyway, we have Dark Ho and Dark Miho. She's a tank as well, similar to Fire Miho, but she's very different. You build her very differently. She does have better defense, which is good too as well. She's an HP aggressor though, and aggression is a very interesting, very good skill. So basically the higher one of your defensive stats are, so we have HP aggression and defense aggression. We used to have recovery on Light Cupid, but they took that off, which I was sad about because I had my Light Cupid built for it. But I digress. HP aggression right here on Dark Miho. So what you want to do is you want to build her like all HP, with as much HP as possible. So not only will she tank hits, but she'll also do damage based on that HP. So she'll be doing good damage as well. And she is a Dark Mon. And Dark Mons do have a increased crit damage compared to other Mons, but they start off with a base 0 resist. And my Dark Miho is in storage. So let's find her. Unless I got rid of her, which I probably did, because honestly I have no intention of using her. She is a really amazing Mon, mind you. Don't just not use her because I don't use her. She is really good. It's just I just got tired. She's like a very overrated Mon. You see her all over. And yeah, I think I probably rebirthed her, to be honest. And I ain't even mad about it. Just to show her, can't really show her skill book upgrades, but it's just damage. It's probably it's somewhere between 20 to 30% damage boost. Because you can't really do anything else with skill books. But anyway, let's look at Dark Miho. This is the Super Dark Miho. You can see her stats. She gets 41k HP. Her attack doesn't matter. Defense is 2500. Really good. Recovery also doesn't matter. So she's a difficult Mon to build for, which most HP aggressors are. Personally, I'd say the best way to go would probably, but also very hard to do, mind you, would be Ruin with as much crit rate and resist as possible. And you also want to get defense as well. And you got to get those 3 all from substats. So it's very hard to do. The reason you want to get defense up as well is because Fire Draka. Fire Draka's crazy. And where you would use her? PvP. 100% PvP. She's good offense, defense. She's probably one of the most used Mons there, which was really the reason why I decided not to go with her. Because personally, I like to build things that I like, and for fun, to try out new things. That's why I won't say any specific Mon. For the most part, I won't say any Mon is bad, because they all can be used somewhere. There's just a better option for most cases. Oh my god. Dark Miho, however, is probably one of the best mons you can have for PvP. She does come around sometimes in the Nat 3 Rebirth, and you can of course get her from Light Dark Eggs, so cross your fingers that you get her. She is really good. You can also use her in any other content as well for temporary purposes. Like, you can use her for Titans if you don't have good damage dealers yet. You can use her for Colossus as well, for the Light Colossus if you don't have good damage dealers for it. But of course for that, I think you would want to build her more offensively, so maybe crit rate HP, because you really want to nuke that one. And then for golems, dragons as well, you can use her there if you don't have good dark damage dealers yet. But she shines most in PvP. And here you can see her skills again, and her super skill does a lot if she crits. If she doesn't, does okay. But anyway, that is it for Miho and the video. I do hope to do more of these, hopefully more frequently as well. But also just remember, guys, if there's anything that you take away from this, is that almost any mon can be used somewhere. It's just about finding where they could be used and then building them right. But they can be used. There are better options, but no mon, almost no mon, is useless. That's going to be it for the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I don't remember what my old outro was from back when I did this before. Oh, it was something like, light up the like button down below if you enjoyed, and comment, leave feedback, subscribe, all that stuff. Have yourselves a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.